Welcome back to Around the Block Volleyball. Last week, the AVCA dropped its list of National Player of the Year semifinalists, and today we're going to break it down. We'll talk through every player who made the cut, who we think will move on to be the finalists, and of course, who might have been snubbed. Let's get right into it. Starting off, we're going to go position by position here.
Yep.
So let's start off with the positions that don't have as many players. Let's start with the setters. Only one setter to talk about.
I think there's only one, and she makes the most sense. It's Bergen Reilly.
Yep. I mean, she's been playing absolutely out of her mind, especially after having this off season where there was a lot of controversy because they picked up Campbell Flynn.
Yeah.
Who is, I guess, another insanely good setting prospect, but
I guess.
Yeah. Hey,
you said I guess.
Yeah, we haven't seen her play too much yet.
That's fair.
She's gotten some play time, but not too much because Bergen Reilly has been that good.
Yeah. And again, man, we said it last week. People need to stop with the Bergen Reilly hate. It's insane.
I think it's definitely cooled down a lot more
for sure.
now.
I get it if you're not a Nebraska fan. Okay, sure. Mm-hmm. But you still have to respect the players and their game. And she's been one of those players that's been really good. And she's improved this year as well. I mean, it's a super balanced offense. Yeah. And she is the person that's dishing the rock. So she has to be on here.
Yeah, I think also just to speak on all the different things she's doing to affect the game, she's running all of these different plays that Nebraska always wants to run anyways. Yeah. She's made adjustments to connect with her hitters because the beginning of the season maybe is a little bit rough, a little bumpy. I've already said this before, but I think she is the best defensive setter in the nation right now. Mm-hmm. So there's that. And she's also being super aggressive too, so she's pretty good on the offensive side as well. Yeah. She might be one of the top higher level kills per set for setters. So she's got a lot going for her here. I think it's high odds that we're going to see her move on to the finals. But
I would think so.
Yeah, but I mean, we still have to go through everyone else, talk about everyone else first. But she's definitely a top tier contender, especially because Nebraska is the number one team and they're so balanced. So everything is running through her.
Yeah, and even part of that is, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but I think you have to say she's the best setter in the nation right now. Mm-hmm. Just with how things have gone and the way she's played, I think she's earned that. Yeah. So she has to be in here.
Yeah, I think this was definitely one of the easier ones for us to talk about because we just have so much praise for Bergen Reilly already that, she just absolutely belongs on this list.
Speaking of easy, the only middle that has moved on to the semifinals for the National Player of the Year is Andi Jackson. Again, hands down, she has to be on here. There's no question about it. Again, in that same Nebraska offense, she's been a focal point. I think she really is one of those players that, you don't really have go-to players that are middles.
Yeah.
She's like somewhat the closest you can get.
Yeah.
Again, Nebraska has a super balanced offense, so she's not going to do that anyways. She is a middle. But the slide that she runs is next level. You can tell she's like unstoppable running that.
Yeah, I think definitely earlier on in the season, it was starting out a little slow for her, so maybe that's what is dragging some of the stats down a little bit, at least more than you'd expect. But very, very recently, not even that recently, but starting probably towards the middle of the season till now, it's been going up and up and up. I mean, her and Rebecca Alec as well, they've just been the most disgusting middle duo in the nation. They are wreaking havoc on
hands down the best
every team they play against. Yeah. And Andi Jackson is just insanely good.
Yeah, I don't think there's a question about it. And what I love to see now is that she's been weaponized as a server, and they even set her in the back row sometimes. Because it's like the stereotype of like a middle. You don't want them serving, you don't want them playing back row. Mm-hmm. But again, if you look forward, does she play on the national team and stuff like that? Because the way she's been playing lately, I think you have to give her that look. And the fact that she's been serving, and it's been good. It's been pretty good serves from her. Mm-hmm. You really like to see that. And then why not set her in the back row? I mean, it looks pretty good. So why not?
Especially because the way that Nebraska runs their defense is that because they have a DS to take that libero spot while she's in the back row serving, they can run her a D-ball and just let her hit from there. So.
I mean, she pretty much plays as if she is a right side when she serves, so it still works out. Yeah. And, I love to see it. It's cool. Not always middles are always like that, where you don't want to see them in the back row, you don't want to see them serving, but she's definitely one of those players, like a fantastic athlete. She can make it work.
Yeah. It's good to see her on this list, although I guess when we're talking about moving forward, I'm not so sure if this might be her cap, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's always hard for a middle to really get that.
Yeah, to stand out
realistically.
as much. Yeah.
Just how it is, but she definitely earns the respect as best middle in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
So she should definitely be on here.
Yeah.
That slide is deadly, man.
Yeah, if she was on, say, maybe another team where she had to be that focal point on offense, she might be moving on. She might be that middle national player of the year that we barely get, that we pretty much never get.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But unfortunately, we don't think that's happening.
Let's be just being realistic here, but she's amazing. But now we can move on to the outside hitters, where we do have a lot of players.
So many of them.
Yeah, but let's start off with Noemie Colyer from Wisconsin.
That's your pick. That's your pick.
That was my called pick from a few weeks ago when we did the hot takes list. But now looking back, it's looking rough because since then,
might have jinxed
some other players may have been playing out of their minds, while Noemie Colyer has been playing still very, very good.
Yeah.
But
you know what?
Not the same level.
You know, I think she might have a rise again because Charlie Furbringer is back, baby.
Yes, we have to talk about that because we did not know when she was coming back. I was very pessimistic about it, but here we are. She's back. Charlie Furbringer is back to bring Wisconsin back up for one last push into the tournament.
Yeah, and honestly, like, she might have had a shot had she been fully healthy to even make it in the semifinalists here. Mm-hmm. As one of the setters, she's definitely one of the best setters in the nation.
Yeah.
She might have had a shot at it. Unfortunately, she was hurt.
Yeah, she missed like a month.
Yeah, so that's going to be tough. You're not really going to make it when you're not. People are also unsure if you're going to keep playing.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to like give you that, but
this list may have even been done like right around. They probably made this list before she came back, and then she came back.
Yeah, for sure.
Right as this list was being announced.
Yeah, but she definitely could have been in there. But I think, hey, now that she's back, Noemie Colyer could get a good run again. Mm-hmm. That could help her, with your pick.
Yeah,
maybe it could happen.
Raise the hitability of some of the sets a little bit, just because, not to say...
Addie Horner was still good.
Not to say Addie Horner was bad or anything, but there was every now and then, she was going through some freshman struggles, and Charlie Furbringer, although she is also only a sophomore, but...
It's Charlie Furbringer.
Yeah, she's also really good.
Yeah.
So, Noemie Colyer, one of the best offensive weapons in college volleyball right now.
Yeah.
I think that she's been like this main offensive point for Wisconsin the entire season. And I think kind of the trend for players that will really be considered for National Player of the Year, at least for attackers, will be players who are that main focal point, basically that number one option, and that number one option by far.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that go into it. Obviously, there's so many things, but I think you're right. Some of it does have to be the numbers, and I think it usually just in the past, it's always gone like that, where either it's a setter that's playing out of their mind, getting a really good team, and running a really great offense, or it is like a pin hitter, could be a middle, but like
middles, it feels like you have to do a lot more.
But they always are relied on to be that go-to hitter in the tough spots versus having the more balanced offenses. It's hard to crown them that just because there are other points in the offense that are being highlighted. Mm-hmm. So Noemie Colyer's definitely been able to have that this year.
Yeah.
So I think she's definitely earned this to move on to semifinals.
Yeah, I think it also helps when you start comparing some of the stats, and her stats look absurd.
Yeah. She's been playing really well. Yeah. Even with like the tiniest kid lately in her play, for the rest of the season before that, she's been playing great. Mm-hmm. She's probably going to amp that back up, knowing how she's been playing. Getting Charlie Furbringer back, I think that's going to happen. Yeah,
definitely will help make up for maybe some of Wisconsin's not perfect passing, I'd say.
Yeah.
So I think Charlie Furbringer will also help remedy that a little bit and make Noemie Colyer shine a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's just bound to happen. And then, I think Wisconsin's still in that fighting distance in the ranking as well. I think you have to be pretty good as a team in the rankings to also make that. Yeah. To move on as well, I would even say. But I think they're in 11 right now. That's pretty solid. You can definitely have her in as a semifinalist for sure. Because I don't even know if you always have to consider that. I think you're like top 15-ish, and then you should be able to get in there.
Well, I think even the top 11, that's been without Charlie Flormarie, where they've taken a little bit more of that slide down.
Yeah, and a lot of that is
they've been a little higher for most of the season.
Yeah, and a lot of that has been because of how well she's been playing.
Yeah, so, I mean, the offense, Wisconsin's offense is basically Mimi Colyer. But let's move on to the next player, where it is another player who is almost a main part of their offense, but it's slightly more balanced out. So let's get right into it. We have Brooklyn DeLeye from Kentucky.
One of the halves of that outside duo. I think she's definitely earned this as well. She was in it last year.
Yep.
She's been great.
She was a finalist last year.
Yeah, she was a finalist last year.
Yeah.
And I think she's earned it again. Even with the change in the offense and new outside partner and, different hitters, different libero, or not different libero, but different setter. There's a lot of things that have been moving around. But again, the mainstay has been Brooklyn DeLeye. She's been playing really well, and she's putting up crazy numbers. She's definitely earned it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, in that top tier of outside hitters in the nation, I don't think there's any doubt she also hits insanely hard for any of the outsides or any hitter. She is one of the hardest hitters in the nation right now, and she plays solid defense, solid blocking. I'm like maybe not the top as some of the other players, but she is absolutely competent and up there, which puts her above some of the other players who maybe didn't make this list.
Yeah, and I think the offense definitely stands out. I mean, you can see it in those games, in those big-time games. Like, I think it helps, at least to me in my eyes, it helps in those statement games. You beat Texas. Brooklyn DeLeye was a huge part of that. I think, to me, those types of games where it matters and it's a big-time game, I think those... To me, it kind of boosted a little bit just because, she's showing up in those big moments and she's been doing that the whole year. So, it definitely makes sense to me.
Yeah, no. I think she's here for a very good reason, but why not move on right to her partner anyways? So, let's just talk about Eva Hudson now, where they're pretty much playing at like the same godly level for outsides.
Damn, Glaze.
I mean, they are the best outside duo in the nation.
I'm just kidding. I mean, they're definitely the best outsides in the nation as a duo, and she's a huge part of that. Yeah, the transfer.
For Eva Hudson personally, I like her a little bit more than Brooklyn DeLeye, even if maybe the offensive numbers aren't. There's a bit of a difference there, but I think just defensively and blocking, I like Eva Hudson a tiny bit more.
Yeah, I think her game is more well-rounded. I think that's definitely for sure. I think it's really close. I would say to me, Brooklyn gets the offensive part of it. I think she does a little bit better. Getting having to deal with the true double block, the out of system balls, types of swings that she takes is insane. But again, I think Eva Hudson has such a great overall game. That she's right there.
Yeah.
Right. She could even be higher. I think. That's a good discussion in itself of who's the better outside.
Yeah, I think we did the same team. We did it amongst their stats last week, like a stat comparison between.
It's so damn close.
It was very close. It was hard for to pick one. I think that was the one that we probably got stuck on the longest in terms of thinking about it.
Yeah, I think it was like the service errors where I was like, oh yeah, it's probably her.
Yeah, but they're both insanely good. Eva Hudson, maybe one thing I'd give her is I feel like. Just she has like this like emotional leadership like around her that I really like. I don't know how much that can play into picking your national player of the year. It's just something I personally like, and it kind of gives me the vibe where I'm like, oh, I would just like to have her a little bit more, but I don't know how much that's going to be taken into account. So stuff.
Yeah, I think that's fair for like criteria wise, but this is our video. I think that's a big part of it as well. I think you can't overlook that too much.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't overweigh that more than other stuff, but when you compare them and it's like tiny little things, like picking at hairs here, I think that's something that could play into it. And again, like the overall game to me has been so impressive from Eva Hudson. And then into a big program like Kentucky. Again, Purdue was great. She played amazing there. Making that switch, she's found her way on this new team really well. Again, I don't think that applies to it either, but I think that's just really impressive.
Yeah. So just talking about how good these players are. But now let's move on to the next player. Probably, I think she is the leader of a ton of the stats just in general for NCAA right now. Definitely offensive stats. We have Flormarie Heredia Cologne from Miami. Yeah, she has like the most points per set, kills per set. She's hitting at an insane clip. She's playing 300. Insanely good right now. Yeah,
nearly 300. She's getting like over. It's almost seven points per set.
Yeah,
it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for, obviously we're going to talk about it later, but Olivia Babcock, Flormarie Heredia Cologne would have like these attacking records, seasonal attacking records for most kills, whatever, most points scored in a game. She'd be having those records for these like top teams.
Yeah, I mean that one game again against Pitt, I think that when I was talking about that statement games, like that's a statement game to me where you're really saying, okay, yeah, I get you're good. I get you're one of the top teams in the nation. We're not really there yet in Miami, but I'm still going to play my hardest, my best. And she did that in that game. I think that was something that's like, like an eye widener for most people that if you didn't already know how good she is, you're like, oh, okay, you have to put some respect on that. I mean, and then, the numbers are ridiculous. It's insane.
She is also, when we're talking about being the National Player of the Year, you kind of have to be the offense for your team. Yeah. She is the offense for her team.
I mean, she gets the most sets out of anyone.
And it's not even close.
No, it's not.
Like, I don't think she's number one in the nation overall in total attacks, but she's probably like top 5.
Well, out of the main 3 that you'd think about, right, and the main 3 I'm talking about it's Flormarie Heredia Cologne, Kennedy Martin, Olivia Babcock. Yeah. She is number 1.
Yeah.
She's the most there, and it's not really that close. And then again, she's hitting nearly 300, almost 6 kills per set. I think that's ridiculous. And again, when you play Miami, you know what they're going to do. You know they're going to set her. They don't really have to hide that. There's nothing to hide there. And then the defense knows, and she's still producing. I think that is really, really crazy. So she's definitely earned it here.
Yeah, no, I mean, actually now looking at her stats, in terms of number of attack attempts she's had, she is like 800 above the next person.
Yeah, so it's ridiculous.
That is disgustingly like lopsided. By the way, the next person is Dahlia Wilson, who has 338 attacks.
Yeah.
Flormarie Heredia Cologne has 1,150 attacks.
Yeah, and again, put that in perspective for people that don't watch Miami. That's more than Olivia Babcock. That's more than Kennedy Martin. And, those are some of the bigger name teams. And you watch those teams, you're like, oh, yeah, they're setting them every single time. She's got more attempts than them. That should say, like, as much as you need to know about what that offense looks like. Yeah. But again, she has been able to produce. So you definitely have to give her flowers.
Yeah. I think she's an easy contender for National Player of the Year because... Yeah, the numbers, everything, I mean, even the eye test, everything about her game is insanely good.
Yeah, I think you would just point out to the defensive side of the ball. That would be something. And then, again, I think just historically, you do kind of get held back if you're not one of the top teams in the nation. Yeah. Which is difficult. But, again, we're just talking about the semifinalists here. She's definitely earned that because of her play.
Yeah, I mean,
you definitely get it.
To be fair, they are in that top 15 range now. More towards that 15 range, but Miami has made their way all the way up, and it's basically on the back of Flormarie Heredia Cologne. But she does have a great setter as well. Just wanted to point that out. But now let's move on to our next player we have here. We have Harper Murray, and now looking at just outsides. Actually, I guess all these players here, she might be the best defensive player.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, at the very least, top 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a top 2 here.
Yeah,
but she's again been able to step up her game. I think there are some critics like Sarah Pavin and Adam. I think they've kind of talked about she's not great, like hitting against a double block and stuff like that. I understand that, but I think they're always talking about that in the lens of to the next level. But we're talking about college right now. She is
just college, just this year.
Yeah. She's proven it where, yes, her situation is awesome, but she's done really, really well with that. Again, the passing has been great. The defense is really good. Like, the overall game has been really impressive.
Yeah.
And then, I really like watching her play. I think it's just a really fun brand of ball. And she's not just, I'm smashing the ball down. It's a lot more like, the Jordan Larson influence is definitely there on, hitting certain types of shots off the block, some types of tips and rolls and stuff like that. She's definitely improved.
Nice. She's a very, very smart hitter amongst all these players.
Yeah.
Maybe not the hardest hitting amongst all these, but
Yeah.
that is also in the context of where we have basically the hardest hitting players in all of NCAA on this list.
Yeah.
And to not be one of the top ones on this list, perfectly fine when you're playing defense like this.
Yeah.
So, and she's also super effective as a hitter as well. But in the end, it's still that Nebraska thing where they have such a balanced offense, so the numbers don't stick out as much, which is the problem. But I think just eye test wise, she's doing absolutely fantastic, and she's one of the best players at NCAA, and that's why she made the list.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the only undefeated team here, she's a huge part of that, so she's definitely on here.
Now we can move on to another one of the top defensive outsides in the nation. We have Elia Rubin from Stanford. And like I said, she's pretty much here because of her defense. I mean, Stanford in general has very, very good defense, but super young team. She is the senior for that team.
Yeah.
And she's doing a lot in the back row. I think maybe her production offensively has taken a slight step back from...
Yeah, it's definitely taken a hit.
But I think that's because she just has to take on a much bigger role leadership-wise, which, again, is a thing that I like to take into account just personally. And then also defensively, she's doing a lot.
Yeah, and honestly, it is a pretty balanced offense, too. So I think, again, you have to consider that. I think it is really impressive what they've been able to do with their middle play. I think Erica Sayre has been amazing.
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing about the freshman stuff. But I think with Elia Rubin, you kind of see that she isn't as worried or occupied with the offensive part, which helps them as a team. I think that's a huge part of it. But again, I think you still have to put respect on what she's been able to do. Offensively, she's still been good. It's just maybe not what you'd expect from Elia Rubin, knowing how good she was before.
Yeah, especially also knowing that it was going to be a lot of freshmen on this team this year. We weren't sure how the freshmen were going to pan out offensively. Yeah. So we're like, everything's going to have to go through Elia Rubin. She's going to have to, hard carry. But
they got some good pieces.
Yeah. The freshmen turned out, they're really freaking good.
Yeah.
So they can swing. Let them swing.
Yeah, they've got a lot of stuff going on for them as a team that's make them really good. So I think, again, that helps too.
Yeah.
But Elia Rubin, for sure, I think the all-around game, just definitely one of the best balanced, full, everything about it. She can impact the game every way. I think that's definitely one of her best attributes.
And Stanford has stayed in the top AVCA rankings the entire season.
Yeah.
I don't picture them dropping, so they're just going to be here to stay.
Yeah, and that helps her case for sure, too.
Yeah, especially because, like we said, she's the only senior on this team. I don't even know if they have a junior on this team. It feels like everyone is...
I don't know.
It feels like everyone's a sophomore or freshman.
Anna Pringle's a senior. But everything else is junior, redshirt sophomores like that.
Okay, yeah. So with players that she's playing with on the court, she's pretty much the only senior.
Yeah.
So that's big for her. She has to take a lot more in terms of leadership on the court and defensively still.
Yeah, it's a really young team.
Now let's move on to maybe the third best defensive outside that we have on this list. We have Torrey Stafford from Texas.
Which is impressive too, because I think what comes to most people's mind is her offense. It definitely stands out, which again, I think that shows how great she is as a player.
Yeah.
That, you do think of her as a really good defensive outside, being able to play the 6 rotations well. But man, her scoring it was interesting when she transferred out from Pitt.
Yeah.
Understanding, okay, you were kind of like the second fiddle, or people were talking about like a 3-headed monster between her, Olivia Babcock, and Brie Kelly. But the step that she has made, and she's just looked so amazing, even in this more magnified role, being that go-to hitter. You're replacing freaking Maddie Skinner, man. That's insane. But she's been really, really good. I think you can't say enough about how well she's adjusted to this type of role. And again, I think the leadership is part of that too. But again, she's getting set a lot of balls, and she's doing really well with it. Still good defense, still good passing. I think she's definitely one of the top players in this for National Player of the Year.
Yeah, and Texas has also been, I guess, they have been top 4 pretty much the entire year. But for almost the entire year, they were at 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she was basically leading that. But again, the one thing that you kind of take away, same thing that happened in Nebraska and a little bit Kentucky, is that they have a much more balanced offense. So when you have that balanced offense, it really does help boost your numbers.
Yeah, I think those pin hitters for Texas have been really great. I mean, 2 freshmen is really impressive. But again, I think that kind of shows again for Torrey Stafford, hey, my other pin hitters, they're freshmen. Let's see if I can help them out, make it easier on them by being such a threat. Well, like one thing that has been such a revelation for me is like the back row connection with Emma Halter and Torrey Stafford.
It's actually like
it's actually
the best.
insane.
It's good.
I can't believe that's even a thing. The fact that they run like a Bic with Emma Halter setting when, Ella Swindle takes the first ball.
Sometimes it's like even like they're almost forcing it. Like why did you do that? Like as it's happening, I'm going, why did you do that? But then the attack happens and I'm like, all right, they're just clip farming here. Like, oh my God, they're so good.
It's really ridiculous. It really looks like it's like a setter-hitter connection that has been really great, which is really funny because this is her first year here, but they've been able to build that. She's been so amazing. And again, like that's her threat as a 6th rotation player, being so good in the back row and in the front row. So she's definitely up there.
I mean, being able to run a back Bic set with your libero is disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. The systems that Texas has got in place for Torrey Stafford. It's really cool.
Like I said before, I think the only thing really holding her back is that she's on a more balanced offense. So that kind of subdues her numbers and inflates the efficiency, I guess, a little bit in that way, but it takes down the overall kill numbers and makes her impact feel slightly less crazy compared to, say, Olivia Babcock, Mimi Colyer.
Yeah. But you can definitely still tell that she's taking the brunt of the attention that the other team has when they're defending Texas. And again, she is producing. I mean, we're saying it's more balanced offense, which it is. But again, she's still getting like 4.5 kills a set, hitting that over 300. So it's been really ridiculous for how she's been playing.
But let's move on to the next player and our last outside here. We have Kenna Wollard from Purdue.
Yeah, I think she has been just a revelation for this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, didn't even know what was going to happen with Purdue.
I did not have high hopes for them, honestly.
With the stuff that happened, I think Dave Shondell, it sounded like he might have wanted to retire after what happened.
He has said that.
But, man, Kenna Wollard has stepped up. Again, this is after she didn't really play too much last year. I mean, Colyer and Eva Hudson. You kind of don't really have to with how good that team was. But now Kenna Wollard has stepped into it, and she has done really, really great. It's really cool to see that a player that wasn't getting that much playtime last year was still prepared for the moment. She stepped up her game. She leveled up, and now she's going crazy for Purdue. She's that go-to hitter now, and she's been doing crazy numbers.
Yeah, I think this is kind of what I'm talking about with players who are taking on the major offensive load for their team. That's Kenna Wollard, another great example of it, where she is the main focal point for that offense, and that's what gets you really, really big, nice numbers. So I think that's impressive. And it just gives you the feeling that you are, carrying the team almost in a sense. I mean, obviously everyone has to touch the ball. But when you are the one taking on such like an offensive load, that's what everyone sees. And that's kind of the most impressive thing. If you're the one who's forced to score in a lot of situations where the other team knows the ball is coming to you. The problem with the balanced offenses and having them be the National Player of the Year is, a lot of, especially it's basically middles. They have to sit on all the attackers.
Yeah.
But when it's a player like Kenna Wollard, they will sit on that because they know she's going to get the ball majority of the time.
Yeah, and again, she's still been able to put up crazy numbers. She's still been able to produce, and she's still been really effective for this team. I think she has to be in here. I really like that she got the recognition, but I agree she definitely has to be in here.
She's a great pick, and I mean, Purdue in general has been such a surprise this season.
Yeah.
That we kind of had to keep her in here, right?
Yeah, I think they've definitely earned it. I mean, they're in the number 9-ish spot. They've been around there for a little bit now, and it's very well earned. I think that team has been really great. But again, it comes down to the players that are playing the game, and she is that big-time player for that team, so she's definitely earned that recognition for the semifinalists.
But that'll wrap it up for our outsides.
It's a long list.
Yeah, but now we just have the last few players. We'll just cut to the chase. There are no liberos that made this list.
Ooh.
So that's unfortunate, but it's really, really hard. You don't have Alexi Rodriguez this year.
Yeah.
So no one's going to quite make that list. But
yeah, I won't lie. I didn't really expect any liberos to make the list.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay, but It's okay. There are still really good liberos in the nation.
Now let's get right into the opposite/right sides, and let's start off strong. Let's go with Olivia Babcock.
I mean, this is the previous winner from last year, the reigning National Player of the Year. She's very much earned it to be a semifinalist. I think that was kind of a given. You probably could have said that before any game was played in the preseason or whatever. You could just say that and you'd be like, oh yeah, you're probably right. She's going to be in there.
Yeah.
But again, she stepped up her game.
Yeah.
She stepped up her game.
Yeah. I mean, she's playing this season without Torrey Stafford this time.
Yeah.
Without Rachel Fairbanks.
Yeah.
I mean, the team, in a sense, it feels like it should have gotten worse. But because of Olivia's offensive production just taking another leap forward.
She has.
Yeah, it feels like they're still up there to be one of the top teams in the nation.
I mean, they are. I mean, they're there. They're at 3 right now, and again, I think they are a really tough team to play against right now. You really have to be careful playing against them because man, everyone knows that she's gonna get set the ball a lot, but she's been unstoppable.
Yeah, it also helps when it feels like I'm not exactly sure, but I think she's like broken her own like kill/point record like 3 times this season.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
It's so absurd. It's 2 or 3.
At least twice.
Yeah. It's so absurd. We're going, oh my God, she had her duel with Flormarie Heredia Cologne. She's setting her own records. This is crazy. Yeah. And then she does it again. And then she does it again. And she's so good.
You know, there is a quote that we definitely had early on in the season. After the first serve showcase, we were saying, wow, she took like 70 swings. There's no way Pitt's going to be able to do it, and she's not going to be able to handle that type of load. We're worried that she's going to get injured. Yeah. Now, I don't know about the injury part because that's just how volleyball media is for college. We don't know. But man, she has been able to right us completely wrong. We are freaking sitting corrected because we can't say anything. She has proved us completely wrong. It does not matter what that offense has looked like. She's been able to carry it. She's been doing her thing. And we can't say anything about it. We're just wrong.
Since that point in time, she's had a game where she took 84 swings, 78 swings, 71 swings. She has a bunch of 50 swing games in there as well, but she was swinging much more than we were saying earlier on was going to be a problem. And I guess it's not a problem because they're winning, I guess, besides the Miami game. They're pretty much winning every game.
Yeah, it's funny. I think we said it at like 50 even or something like that. And we're like, she's not going to be able to do it.
To be fair, she had like 60-something.
In that first game?
Yeah, or second game. She had like 60-something swings.
But it was still like, that's insane. Especially compared to everyone else, where it was like, she had like 40 more than everyone else.
Yeah. I think a lot of people probably agreed with us at that time.
I would assume so.
They're like, dude, she's taking way too many swings. How is Pitt going to be good? And Olivia was just like, yeah, I can take that number of swings, but also watch me be super efficient at it.
Yeah, Dan Fisher
super terminal at it.
Yeah, Dan Fisher definitely enabled that. He was, all right, hey, rock out. If you got it, I trust in you, you got it. And you know what's crazy? If you think about it, when she is topspin serving, she's actually taking more swings than what is in the attacks.
Yeah. We forgot to talk about her also being one of the best servers in the nation.
Yeah, I mean, she's got to be up there. There's a lot of great servers right now, but she's up there because, I mean, she does topspin, she does float too, and they're both really good. But you know with Pitt what you're getting out of Olivia Babcock. Ain't gonna say it yet, but she's definitely a favorite to repeat.
She is a top choice, and spoiler alert, we're probably both gonna pick her to move on into finalists and probably win it. As of right now, I mean, there's actually not that much of the season left, so it's feeling very, very likely, but yeah, she is by far favorite.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Yeah, just a little bit more, and then we can be certain.
Yeah, we'll hold off a little bit.
But let's move on to the next player. Another big surprise player for this year. We have Noemie Glover from ASU.
Again, I love seeing the players like a Kenna Wollard and Noemie Glover getting their shine, right? She was from Oregon last year. She was kind of like not an afterthought, but understanding what Oregon was. Maybe Colyer was on that team. You were like, oh, this team is really good. You know, a lot of them did leave. Okay, she left to a new situation in ASU. But how is that going to look? We don't know. You know, you still have to build that connection with your setter, with the coaching staff, all that. She has made it happen, and she's looked really, really good. She even had that whole concussion scare. But man, she's still in here. This is so impressive. You know, she was out for I don't know how many weeks, maybe 2.
Yeah, 2 or 3,
something like that. But she's still in here. She's putting up great numbers. She's playing great.
Yeah.
She's definitely earned it.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's another dominant right side of the... I think there's something to be said that I think going into the season, we had the idea that there was going to be like a top 3 right sides in the nation, and that was going to be Olivia Babcock, Logan Lednicky, and Kennedy Martin.
Yeah.
And they all made this list, but Noemie Glover did too. So she's right up there with them. So that is a lot to say about just the level that she's jumped up to. Now, I don't know if she's quite, say, like Olivia Babcock level right now. But
no.
she is in that conversation for being that she's in that 2, 3, 4 conversation.
Yeah, she's made it a conversation.
Yeah.
I think that in itself is very impressive. Because again, I don't think people really were saying that.
Yeah.
We didn't think that.
Yeah.
And again, nothing against her.
Yeah.
That's just from that situation. It was difficult to come to a new team, and how are you going to produce? But she stepped it up. She's evolved her game. She's become a lot better with being able to deal with. You're not the kind of like afterthought from a Mimi Colyer. You don't get to benefit from that as much. You do have Bailey Miller on this team, so they still have a really good offense at ASU.
Yeah.
But again, people know Noemie Glover is going to get the ball now.
She is the one with the gravity this time.
Yeah, she's doing really well with it.
Yeah. So I think that's big. I think the players who are dealing with the gravity are very different from the players who benefit from another player's gravity.
Yeah.
So it's a big change to make. I'd say Torrey Stafford also made that adjustment, even though she's on a pretty well-balanced offense right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Noemie Glover, it's crazy because I don't think her usage was too high last year. But she jumped in a situation where now she is the main hitter, and it's working out pretty well.
Yeah, and this is a really stacked group of right sides that are just in the nation right now. And she's there. She's right there knocking on the door. So I think that in itself speaks to how great she's been playing this year.
Yeah, and ASU, they've been amazing this season.
Yeah.
They are still in that top 10 easily.
They're wavering like a little bit recently, but they've still been killing it the whole season.
I mean, we can chalk that up to the Big 12 just being a little crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Big 12, man. It's just a crazy conference. I don't know what the heck is going on. Yeah. I will say, to me, there is like a trend of like inconsistency in like the Big 12 sometimes, where it's like certain teams just do really well against certain players, or they just have games where they're playing really well and other games where they're not. But again, ASU has been really good pretty much for the whole season.
I mean, that's why they're at the top of the conference.
And then again, I think that return after the whole injury scare has just been really cool to see.
Let's move on to another top pick. We have Logan Lednicky, Texas A&M. She's also playing great this season. She is that go-to hitter. Although Texas A&M, I mean, they have a fairly balanced team. I like their middle play a lot offensively when they're able to run it.
Yeah.
Which is decently often. Their outsides, I mean, Kendall Stowers has just been showing out recently.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all props to her, but that's a more balanced offense. Logan Lednicky, maybe, I feel like in that big 3 that we mentioned earlier, she was at that number 3.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I wouldn't generally be picking her over these other opposites, but she's definitely deserving of being on the semifinalists.
Yeah. I mean, she's for sure earned it. Yeah. And again, I think it did help her with that experience in the VNL and the national team. I think she's also leveled up a little bit. Yeah. Now, again, it's always tough to see it considering the team that you play on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But she's still been like a huge focal point for this team. I think it is pretty interesting with the Kendall Stowers and how she's playing. But Logan Lednicky, you know what you're getting out of her. She's been a very good go-to hitter. Again, another 6 rotation player. I think that helps, especially for the right sides, being able to play some defense and hitting out of the back row. It's been really impressive from her still.
I mean, she definitely belongs on this list. I don't think you could pick another right side that you'd want to take instead of her, like replacing her on this list. So very clearly belonging on this list. But let's talk about another slightly controversial one in a way, but also very belonging on this list.
Yeah.
We have Kennedy Martin of Penn State, who is pretty much like on the team that's lowest ranked out of any player who made this list.
I mean, they're 25, right? They're just barely hanging out.
They're 24 now.
Oh, my bad.
They are
24.
They are not out yet, but it's been yeah, it's been a rough season for Penn State.
Very turbulent. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, but Kennedy Martin still shining through all of it. Yeah. She's still playing amazing. She is very, very easily the focal point of that offense.
It's not even close.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in the same way that we were like, how is Olivia Babcock surviving this season? It's also, how is Kennedy Martin surviving this season? Because they're asking for everything out of her and then some.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very difficult situation to be in. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't even imagine the stress that it is.
Yeah.
But again, she's been able to figure it out given her situation. She's played really well with that. Yeah, I think there's still even some more room to grow, which is pretty crazy. But again, I think, the way that she's been playing has been so great. Some of it you have to chalk up to the team play. Like, I don't know how she would have played had things gone differently this season. But even with what we've gotten, she's played really, really well. I think, again, being able to hit high off the block, everyone knows that she's getting the ball. Like, again, we were talking about this with Olivia Babcock. It's the exact same scenario when you play Penn State. And she's still been able to get kills, being terminal. Again, it's pretty impressive.
I would go as far to say as that Kennedy Martin's situation is a little tougher than Olivia Babcock.
Oh, it's hands down more tougher.
Like I think just every part of it, the passing is definitely worse than Pitt's passing.
Yeah.
The setting is a little bit weaker than Pitt.
Yeah.
So it's really, Kennedy Martin is forced to make the most of a rough situation.
And she's doing that. I mean, she's still putting up crazy numbers. She's still playing really well in these matches.
And I think just to add a little storyline element to it, a little mental element to her nomination into this, would be just maintaining her level of play through the mental struggle of having your basically best setter in the nation drop from your team.
Yeah.
So having all of that turmoil, especially because it looks to have been like kind of team related a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of team turmoil added onto that, and just the way that she's been able to handle it and still perform, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a messed up situation with everything that went on over there, but she's still been able to do pretty well with it, honestly.
Yeah. In terms of storylines, I very much appreciate Kennedy Martin's storyline. It's just maybe,
that's fair.
Yeah, not she doesn't have the craziest numbers, and I don't even think it's her fault.
I mean, she got some pretty good numbers.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like individual games where she's like, we're not getting the 38 kills, 40 kills.
I mean, when you say that, she's definitely not there. I think, but honestly, this is like a quick thing to say. Like, this is so impressive with like how the game is evolving in the right side. I think we've seen it recently where the right side has become like the focal point in offenses a lot more now, especially in the women's game.
Yeah. And
it's trickled down to the college game as well, where you have like the best hitters on the right side and the most physical hitters. And we've seen it here. There's 4 National Player of the Year semifinalists here, and all of them are really great athletes. They're really great hitters, and they're all very deserving of it, honestly, too.
Yeah, I think that's a good case for Kennedy Martin there. I do like her storyline the most of everyone. But
I'm gonna be realistic, she doesn't have a shot.
Yeah.
I'm just calling it how it is.
Yeah, it's tough when you are on a fringe top 25 team in the nation.
They're hanging by a thread.
But they are hanging on that thread because of Kennedy Martin. That thread is Kennedy Martin.
That's true.
She's the only thing keeping them there. And any postseason run that they have, it is on the back of Kennedy Martin by far.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
When we're talking about teams where a player is backpacking everyone, I think
she's the example.
By far. Like, sure, Olivia Babcock, Flormarie, Heredia, Cologne are there, but I'd say that the support that they have around them is
better.
A little better.
It's definitely better.
Yeah. But now we've gone through all of the semifinalists, and it's time for us to pick our finalists, which is just 4.
Yeah.
So
this is tough.
Yeah, we're going to have to cut down the list.
This is really hard.
Yeah, but there were 14 players on this semifinalist list, and now we're going to cut it down to the top 4.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we can go quickly past some of the easy submissions that we want to take.
That's fair.
Olivia Babcock, get right in that top 4.
That is the easiest decision.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even close.
Very easily. Get right in that top 4. Now we got 3 spots left.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm definitely putting Bergen Reilly in here.
Bergen Reilly, I think, is the definite other pick.
I think she has to be, and I mean, I guess it's quickly into like the politics of this stuff, or I don't even know because we're not voters. But like I think it's really tough to when you deal with these balanced offense teams on who can you give it to, especially with a team that's dominating like Nebraska.
Yeah.
But I think, just the nature of volleyball, the one player that touches the ball every single time is Bergen Reilly.
Yeah, it's the setter.
And she's setting them up to do really well. Again, it's not just, the setter sets well, their hitters are going to get a kill automatically. The hitters have to be good as well, and they are. That's why Harper Murray and Andi Jackson are here. But Bergen Reilly has stepped up her game.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Nebraska has been so good. She's a huge definite part of that. And then, her defense has been really good too. Her defense has been insane.
Yeah, defense I think is one of the top reasons, and then also the fact that she's able to put a lot of her teammates in really good situations for them to attack the ball.
For sure.
So
yeah,
I think you just have to put her in there. So that's our 2 picks right now.
I mean, she's done the best job of that. Putting the hitters in a good situation and, be successful. She's been the best at that for sure.
Best setter in the nation by far. So let's just get her in that top 4 as well. Another one that I think you kind of just have to pick because the numbers are basically historic. I think you have to put Flormarie Heredia Cologne in there just because the numbers are way too disgusting to not include, even though I guess generally we'd be looking at like top of the standings players here, but she's still in that top 15, and I think, she's also just massively carrying that team.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So I also did my own 4. So to me, part of that, I looked at the history of it. I think to me that just I wanted to pick realistically. I think what you're saying is completely right. I don't disagree with it.
But I
any
think,
of it at all.
I think the difference in where you just can't leave her out is because the numbers are historic.
Yeah. I mean, this is also the finalists. So I mean, I didn't look at all the finalists. They could have been in lower tier teams, like lower rankings. So it's definitely possible. But I did have just some other names that have been playing really well. But I think, looking at the numbers with how well she's been playing for her team, and, some of it's how important she is for the team.
Yeah.
You cannot deny that. So I can't disagree with you on that.
Yeah.
I had just other players as well, but I think I don't hate that at all.
Yeah. But I think that rounds out maybe the more secure ones, and definitely Flormarie Heredia Cologne is in there just because the historical aspect of her numbers. I don't know if there's any top teams where players really do that.
Yeah, I mean, she's been playing great.
Yeah, so we just have her in there. But now we have that last spot, and this is where things get really tricky.
Yeah, I had one that I felt pretty good about. It's an outside on one of the best teams.
There are a lot of outsides on the best teams, so it's tough.
For me, I picked Torrey Stafford here.
I figured it was going to go in that direction. I think that's a good choice.
I just think with the way that she's been playing, it's been so impressive. Again, the second fiddle, I guess, to Olivia Babcock from last year. But she's stepped it up. She's become that go-to player on this team. Again, balanced offense, but she's still been producing and doing really well. And she's making the big-time plays in the big-time moments in their matches. I think you kind of have to give her that type of nod.
Yeah.
I guess the other ones that would be close is a Brooklyn DeLeye and a Eva Hudson. I think they are close.
Yeah, I put Noemie Colyer in that conversation.
She's definitely in there
is
too.
Basically amongst these 4 outsides where you want to include one of them.
Yeah, it's tough. Noemie Colyer could definitely be in there too. Yeah. I think the only thing for me for Eva Hudson, Brooklyn DeLeye, which I don't even know if this matters, but to me it's hard to pick one of them over the other. Also because it's the same thing for Nebraska. It's hard to say you have 2 really great that are in the semifinalists. Yeah. They're taking away votes from each other in my eyes.
Yeah, it's a weird situation where in the end I'm kind of but they also have each other on the same team. It's you're getting a little bit more open looks, say on your back row attack, your big.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more gravity from the other half of your duo on that outside. So it takes away from it a little bit in that way. Not that Torrey Stafford doesn't have slightly that, I guess,
Yeah, I mean, they got a really good team out there too, but I get what you're saying. Yeah. It's not even to take anything away from Eva Hudson or Brooklyn DeLeye.
But it feels like a compliment though, where it's you're both so good.
Yeah, they're playing at the level to be in this conversation for sure of National Player of the Year. I think they definitely have a case.
Yeah.
I think for me, I just got a little bit swayed from how Torrey Stafford has been able to handle what she's doing on her team. She's doing great. And she doesn't have that other complementary piece that is as eye-opening as a Eva Hudson or Brooklyn DeLeye. Mimi Colyer also has that case, though. Yeah. So I think that's also a thing.
I'm fine with it. I'd say that I guess Noemie Glover has been like asked to do more on the offensive side, but Torrey Stafford's impact on the defensive side is much greater.
Yeah.
Definitely much greater. So I think that's fine, like a perfectly fine choice, especially because they are at they were at number 2 in the nation for a long time, which is the problem, I guess, for this list where I'm like, dang, it kind of sucks that we're not picking like Eva Hudson or Brooklyn DeLeye because they're number 2.
Yeah.
But they're just on the same team, and making that final choice to who would win National Player of the Year, it'd be really weird if one of them won over the other. I would not feel comfortable.
That would be
that
really
final
awkward.
So in terms of like maybe playing a little bit of politics, you could be like, let's save ourselves, the voters maybe, let's save ourselves the trouble of having to make this decision. Let's just not put either of them in. Because it is a tough decision between the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, to keep it completely transparent, when I put 4 in, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about Flormarie Heredia Cologne for like the numbers that she's putting up. Yeah. So that's why I didn't have her in. But I did actually put Eva Hudson in my 4. It was Olivia Babcock, Bergen Reilly, Torrey Stafford, and Eva Hudson. So I definitely understand how good Eva Hudson and Brooklyn DeLeye are playing. Yeah. That I even put Eva Hudson in here, but. Yeah, it's really tough. I think there were like 2 that were completely, like, I know for sure. Flormarie Heredia Cologne, she definitely has earned that with the numbers that she's putting up. Yeah. But it is really tight with, I guess, the other 2. Like, the 2 top ones, and then after that, it's hard for me. Yeah. It's just, I think Mike he wanted the smoke between picking that choice, making that discourse between the Kentucky fandom, I guess. But it's hard.
I will avoid that completely and say, let's just not pick either of them.
It's hard.
Whatever.
It's hard. I mean, the offense for Brooklyn DeLeye is there. Eva Hudson is right there, though. Balanced game. It's so difficult. But picking, if you were to pick between the 2, like to even say who's better, it's really hard to say. Yeah. But I don't know. So I put her in anyways, though. Yeah. That's it. In my personal list, I put her in. But I guess if we're doing our 4 collective, it's Olivia Babcock, hands down. Bergen Reilly, hands down. You reminded me of Flormarie Heredia Cologne. She's also got to be in there. Yeah. And then we put Torrey Stafford. Yeah. And I think amongst us, we're realistically probably picking between the top 2 anyways. Like, this 3rd and 4th spot, maybe a little bit different from other years, would be that our 3 and 4 spot probably aren't going to win it anyways. Yeah. But the real race is between these top 2. Yeah, I would say so. So, yeah, that's going to be our choices for the finalists, and we will probably do our own award show in a few weeks. We'll make our own awards. Have some fun with it. Yeah, have our own votes for who we think did best at different things in the season, and we're going to definitely have a National Player of the Year of our own. Yeah, I think we'd be stupid to not make that an award. Yeah, so we'll be making that decision when we see the rest of the season play out. We got a little bit left to go. A little bit more. Yeah, same as the voters, but we'll figure it out when we get there. But now let's move on to just talking about players that we think maybe we're about on that tier of making this list. So I think just talking about the criteria, we pretty much had to pick from players who were also on the top teams. Yeah. Or on the watch list already. Yeah. I mean, most of them are. Yeah. And we didn't really... We jumped a little bit lower for one pick that I made, but generally we're not jumping as low as Kennedy Martin and Penn State being down there, but we have a couple picks here that I think could have made the list, but you don't have to be too, we're not too upset about any of these picks. I wouldn't say so. Yeah, I think we can just start it off right away with the one decision where I think I'd like one of these 2 players to have been included. Yeah. But it's not the biggest deal either because they weren't going to win anyways. But damn, just dismissing them completely. I don't think they're going to win, but I think that they're playing on the level of some of the other semifinalists. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but we're looking at the setters here, and my 2 choices to maybe also have made that list would have been Taylor Anderson from Purdue and then Avery Carlson from SMU. Yeah, I think they've both been really impressive. Yeah, I think Taylor Anderson, again, is very sleeper. I don't think a lot of people really know how great she is. Yeah, I don't know what. I think she's playing insane. Yeah, she's playing really, really well. Yeah. Again, we said the whole thing about Kenna Wollard. A lot of that applies for Taylor Anderson as well.
I mean, she was starting even more.
Yeah, I mean, she was a starting setter from last year, so it's not like a huge jump from last year or whatever.
No jump in responsibility.
But she's still done really well with the plays and the team that she has. She's done really well. I think you have to give her that. I definitely agree. Like, she could have been in this list for sure and made it 2 setters instead of just 1.
Yeah. I would have liked, I guess, to see another setter, which is a little bit different from, I guess, maybe the middles, where I would have been like, we can just leave it to 1 middle there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, for setters, I would have liked to see Taylor Anderson or Avery Carlson. I think she's also having a great season. I think the thing with these two is that they have that they're either moving to a new team or they have a whole new team around them, or both, I guess. Avery Carlson, it's that both. SMU roster is just constructed a whole team.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think just the fact that you're able to perform at such a high level with a new roster around you, it says something about these setters. I think the setter is the hardest position to kind of make those adjustments, because normally with a lot of these setters, you're making a few adjustments per season where you're like, okay, I've been playing with my outside, but I have a new outside, and I've played maybe 1 season already with my right side. Yeah. So I only have to adjust a few things. My middles, I've played with both of them for like 2 years already. Sure, you have that. But with both of these players, they're basically resetting their entire starting rosters.
Yeah, and I think for Avery Carlson, what's even more impressive is it's a different coaching staff too.
Yeah.
So it's, again, the communication between the coaches and stuff like that.
How they want to run that offense.
Yeah, I mean, there's systems in place that she had to figure out, and I think she's been able to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, again, this team is also, again, very impressive for SMU. Mm-hmm. I mean, they have a bunch of players that are on that watch list that were on that watch list, right? In a favor of Nyanmu, Jaden Livings, they both got added onto there. Malaya Jones was already on there. And I think she definitely could have been a shoo-in for that as well. And she has a similar situation. It's not Nebraska, but listen to me. As in, like, it's such a balanced offense. You need someone to get them the ball, and she's been able to do that at a very high level. I think that, to me, that was one thing that made me think, oh, Avery Carlson could legit be in the semifinalists. It's a hard list to make, but I think she definitely could have been in there, even though she wasn't even in the watch list at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I think these two are like my biggest ones.
Yeah.
And I think in my mind, I'd be like, you could have made it 16 if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Instead of 14.
Yeah, 14 is like kind of a weird number.
14 is kind of like a roster where you're like,
I guess.
7.
I guess.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. They're not doing the rosters anyways. They got 1 setter. They got 1 middle.
Yeah.
They got 4 right side. They got no liberos.
Yeah, I guess
it's not roster.
Same thing with these All-American teams where they do like almost roster numbers, but not like actually constructing a roster.
Don't even get us started about that. Remember the whole thing that we had about the boys season?
Yeah.
That was that whole thing.
Yeah.
We're not doing this again.
Liberos.
We're not even talking about that. That stuff was just terrible.
It's gonna happen again for the All-Americans here, so maybe we'll talk about it after that comes out. But yeah, those two were my biggest inclusions that I wanted.
Yeah.
But let's talk about a couple other ones. We'll move on to outsides here. We can talk about them a little faster just because they're performing really well, but they're not exactly on the top teams.
Nah, I wouldn't realistically have actually seen any of them make it in here.
Yeah. Just I think in terms of players who brought their team to a pretty high level and are carrying that offensive load, we have Anna Barilovich from Colorado.
Yeah.
Not as much, but Evan Hendricks from TCU. She's doing great for her team and very well defensively as well.
Funny, because those are 2 Big 12 teams. Again, the whole like dumpster fire, not as in a bad thing, but like you just don't know what's gonna happen for the Big 12.
Impossible to predict.
Yeah. Who knows what's happening over there?
Yeah, but back to players that are carrying their teams. Safi Hampton from UNC. They've been climbing up more and more as the season's been going on.
Tar Heels are doing something down there.
But then rounded out, we got Julia Hansen from Minnesota.
Yeah.
I mean, she's been doing it since the beginning of the season. Thankfully, she has not gotten injured like half of the rest of the Minnesota roster.
Don't say that, because now it's going to happen. We don't need that we don't need even more stuff going on us about being a jinx.
Yeah. But all these players, they've brought their teams into somewhere in that top 25 at least, maybe more that 10 to 25 range. And it's been a lot of their offense going into that. So just wanted to mention these 4 players. They're doing great.
Yeah, they definitely earned it.
And then for middles, we had some middles who are maybe on that next tier right after Andi Jackson or around that same tier for, I guess, I'll just start off. Rebecca Alec. I think...
Yeah, she had a good case, honestly.
Yeah, she stepped it up where I feel like they're almost at the same level-ish.
Damn.
Like, I think the way that they do it is different. Like, I don't think Rebecca Alex's game will translate as well to, like, say, like a high professional level, national team level. But I think just the numbers and usage that they both get, maybe just because it's both balanced offense type thing. Yeah. But it's not too far out from each other.
I mean, let's be fair. Like, the way that Rebecca Alec has refined her game and her offense has taken a huge leap. Mm-hmm. And I don't really know what happened, but she put in like crazy work.
Yeah.
Again, not to discredit her at all, but she's been doing great. She's been really, really good offensively. You already knew what you were getting on the defensive side of the ball, but now offensively she leveled up, and she definitely made a conversation of like, oh, is her offense like low-key just as good as Andi Jackson? Like, the fact that that's even a conversation to me says something.
I think a very big, maybe not pro to her game right now, but she's really good at the power tip. That I think, personally, I mean, this is a hot take that made him probably laugh a little bit. I don't like the power tip at all.
I know, that's why I laughed, because I know you're going to say that.
Yeah, but she's really, really good at it. It is within the rules, so she's taking great advantage of it. I think she's one of the best middles in the nation at doing it.
She's really smart with it.
Yeah. It's like her power tip is insane. I think sometimes it borders on a lift, but
there's definitely some.
It's within the rules, and she just is able to do it, find spots really, really like hard. And when you're power tipping like that, especially because she's got great vertical as well, great physicality, it's a kill a lot. So
yeah, it's really crazy that, I don't know, it does border on, like, it looks questionable, but she also has some ones that are clean, and like I wouldn't have questioned it regardless. But man, she's leveled up for sure.
Yeah, it's like the mix of the vision, but still making the tip with speed is absolutely disgusting. So.
We know that she's a great athlete. She's super powerful. She's definitely able to do that. Yeah. But now it's seeing it on the offensive side. You knew it was there, so now she's just been able to show it.
Yeah, and this is all speaking without mentioning her great blocking as well. Yeah. She's one of the best blockers in the nation. And for other middle choices, they are also the other best blockers in the nation.
Hands down.
Yeah, we got Kara Cressy and Afena Kozak-Paula. We have the rest of the best blockers in the nation out here. It's hard for a middle to be National Player of the Year, which is why we're like, it's fine. It's more fine, but we just wanted to mention them because they are some of the best defensive players in the nation, front row wise. Yeah. So we had to mention them, and all of them have stepped up their offensive game, actually, of those three.
Yeah, so. I mean, Kara Cressy is like the one that stands out for sure, just because, I mean, everyone kind of heard that was their game plan this year was, hey, we're going to try and set her the ball as much as we can.
Slide.
Just give her the ball as much as we can. Yeah. In whatever way that we need to, we're going to try and do it. They've been doing a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, I mean, she's
done pretty well.
She's more like when you need a kill, like, they'll go to her, which is pretty crazy for a middle.
Yeah, and honestly, to me, I love what Louisville's been able to do with their blocking in the past couple of years. Huge comeuppance to Dan Meskey. I mean, he's been the huge part of that. But Kara Cressy is a monster blocking the ball. I mean, she might be the best. I mean, I think it's close, probably. But to me, I don't mind saying that she's the best blocker in the nation. She's so dominant on that side of the ball.
No, definitely we have to give her that credit. It's just middles. It's hard to put in that conversation.
Yeah.
And then for the opposites right sides, we only had one option. We kind of mentioned her earlier. We just had Malia Jones.
Yeah.
Just to add.
If we're like talking like top 5 right sides, I think she's in there. And it's like the 4 that are in the National Player of the Year. And then it's Malia Jones.
And this is just looking at the top teams in the nation. Yeah. I'm sure there are other great opposites that are out there. Just we only decided to pick from the top players because that's realistically what you'll get.
But to be honest, I think she is up. She's earned that as well in her play to be in that conversation, let alone just her team. I think she's been really, really great. And again, I don't know what the heck the training programs that they got going down at SMU is insane. The athletes that they have, or they recruited them or they have built them up, they're insane. Malia Jones has some of the hardest hits I've seen.
Yeah.
I know Olivia Babcock is doing some crazy stuff. Kennedy Martin's doing some crazy stuff. But Malia Jones has some just absurd bounces. Yeah. And you just see like her vert, and it's just crazy stuff. I'm glazing. Yeah. But Malia Jones is really, really good. Yeah. I think she definitely deserves to be in that conversation.
Yeah. She could have been included very much as well. Yeah. I think if SMU didn't maybe, fumble a couple games, There probably would be
Yeah.
an SMU player that
Yeah.
made that list.
Yeah.
So just mention again, we have no liberos to say that could make this list. No standout
It's
liberos
tough
like
to
that.
say.
Yeah, it's really hard for a libero to be in the conversation. Lexi Rodriguez was just that good.
Yeah.
But that'll bring us to the end of our main topic for this week. In the comments, let us know what you guys have for your National Player of the Year pick right now.
Yeah.
We are reaching the end of the season, so get your slightly early predictions in.
Yeah, let us know about who you think's going to win it, and then maybe give a reason. I think it's really cool to see what you guys think, especially if it is your team, which is completely fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You can be biased. We do it sometimes too. But I think it's cool to give a reason, just really see like what's your thought process on it, because it's really tough this year. I think there's a lot of really great players that are doing like a really great job. You do have to make a case for them. It's not just really easy picks.
Yeah. Now we'll move on to just another small section that we want to get to here.
Yeah.
We wanted to respond to some of your guys' comments from our last video.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of great conversational points that sometimes we don't get to in responding through like message in our comments.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to talk about it in the next episode.
Yeah, and I think it'd be fun. I think this is a little more interactive, I guess.
Yeah.
That we really get to see that. And you guys have been supporting us. We're getting all the great numbers. Keep doing it, and we'll be able to keep replying to some of the comments that we got. But let's get it started with this little segment that I guess we're trying out. From Natalia Buen, 5587. She said, guys, do you think Texas deserved the number 3 spot? I don't get why Pitt is ranked number 3 if they have more losses. Texas only has 2. It is very interesting when you look at it.
Yeah. I think one thing that is taken into account is kind of the recency to these games, these losses, and a lot of more of Pitt's losses come from the beginning or the more beginning of the season versus Texas, which their losses are those 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that is kind of the bias that brings Texas down a lot, and I think also the fact that Kentucky beat them in 3.
Yeah, I think that has to be something.
That was a big one.
I think maybe what she's trying to get at is more about like the Pitt part, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. It's hard to say when it's teams that don't play each other, right? SEC and then you have the ACC. I think it's hard to compare the two. I do think it's a little interesting. I think what you're saying is for sure right though. I think it is a lot more about what recently happened.
Yeah.
Because if we're talking about how teams were for most of the season, it does make sense for Texas to be at 3, just understanding, hey, they were just at 2 for so long. They were undefeated for so long.
Yeah, it's crazy to drop them that much.
Yeah, they had a bad weekend. It is tough, but I think you do have to give Pitt some respect that they, again, like you said, those losses were pretty early on, and they've stabilized. They've done really well.
Yeah, besides that Miami loss.
Yeah, Texas did similar thing until, what was that, like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Whatever that was.
Yeah.
So it's tough to say. I think you could see it definitely going either way. But I don't really mind that they have Pitt still up there. I think it's not too bad to be like they kind of like switch places, I guess.
Yeah, I think maybe if we were to do like true power rankings, that would be more of a where we're like, okay, maybe Texas can be 3.
Oh, contender, like if we were saying like who could win it.
Yeah, more like our own like who do we think is like how based on how good we think that they are.
Yeah,
sure, Texas they can go at number 3, but I think it's just the coming off of those losses. I am a little bit more surprised that after this past like week correction that they didn't want to switch them back.
Yeah.
But
you mean like Pitt and Texas switching them over.
Push up Texas back. Because I think maybe the idea was that maybe Texas on a little bit of a skid, but I think they proved themselves.
It's like a reactionary move them down, but then move them back up after.
I feel like they proved themselves, but if that's how it's gonna be, sure. I think the top 4 spots don't matter too much.
Yeah. So
I don't mind it that badly.
Okay. So I guess long story short, we don't know. Sorry to not give you a very definitive.
Yeah, but I think that if we, like I just said, it's more like, we think that they could have taken that spot. Yeah. But it's just the recency of those losses. Yeah. You gotta count that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think honestly, if we're considering what just happened with the re-ranking of this week, I do think Texas probably should be at 3. And then Pitt slides down to 4. I guess that's the answer. I think that's pretty good. I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got Michelle Cuso, 7714. I've been watching many of the games. Still think Nebraska is unbeatable. Also impressed with Pitt, Miami, Louisville, Kentucky, Stanford. I'm sure I'm missing some others. But it seems like teams that were able to keep the same players from last year, that had the opportunity to work together again, are the teams that are most successful. Your thoughts? This is really interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about this too much, when it came into the season. But I think it's a really important point to make that with the whole transfer portal stuff, there's a lot of moving parts with a lot of these teams. And we see it, that some of these top teams, again, that are like, SMU is like the poster child of completely different team on that same university, representing the university, but they've still been really good. But then there's other teams.
Another good example.
Yeah, there's other teams that are not like that.
Yeah.
We don't have to say the schools if we don't want to, but there are schools that are like that.
Yeah.
But
UCLA.
Okay, no, you can say it, I guess. I was thinking the same team, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But I think it is really important. I think that is something that is underrated, honestly, where they are still college kids. Some of it might help that, hey, you just are friends with these people. You get to hang around them. You know who they are. And it's not just from like if they were U19 or whatever, national team type of stuff. You are with them, several years together. You're through the grit and grind of the season and in the off season. I think that's really important. Where I think that's some of the team chemistry, some of the type of bonding that is important. I think that helps create like a really good team.
Yeah. I think also in the same exact way, it's also making sure that you're gelling pretty well with the coaching staff.
For sure. Yeah, that's a huge part.
When it is with the transfer portal, you are with the transfer portal, you still obviously get recruited by coaches. You're still talking to them about how things are going to be with their team, their coaching style, everything like that. But in the end, you don't really know until you get there and you're playing for that system. And I think maybe it gets a little bit more difficult for the transfers. I mean, obviously it works out for a lot of transfers.
Yeah.
But some transfers, it works out a little bit less because maybe you're used to one thing and now you're moving into another, and you in your mind you're thinking, okay, that's great, like I can work with that. Then you get there, you're starting to do it, you're like, oh shoot, like I'm having a little bit of problems adjusting.
Yeah.
It's a tougher thing, especially with how teams want to run their offenses, run their defenses. It's bigger shifts than you'd think, maybe, as a transfer.
Yeah, it's like the unspoken stuff, honestly, that, we don't really talk about. I mean, we weren't in that, so we don't know what it's like for sure. But I think, we've played the sport as well. We've been on teams. I think just understanding just team sports, like, that's just how it is. So that stuff matters. And it's hard to always adjust to that when it's new every single time and you're not with the same coach, where you can build that type of rapport with the coaching staff, with the trainers, and then with your teammates. There's a lot that goes into that where maybe that is really important.
And not to mention, you're also living on a different campus. It's like a whole new life almost.
Yeah,
so,
that's a huge part.
There's a whole lot of things that come with transfers. So I think it just sometimes maybe for some of the players it helps them stay a little comfortable.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure a lot of players transfer out because of tougher situations. So it's hard to say if transfers are good or bad. I think there's always going to be the argument that you need transfers because there's a lot of players stuck in bad situations that you don't want to leave them in. Like almost, I guess the easiest example to give would be there are like pretty abusive coaches out there. Just
there's that. Yeah.
Where
let's call it how it is. Honestly,
yeah. You have to be for real. Like this is the reason why the transfer portal exists, is because there are a lot of bad situations that kids get put into that they didn't know going in.
Yeah.
And you want to give them a way to transfer and still play.
Yeah.
So I think that's one reason that the restrictions for the transfer portal will never get too strict.
Yeah, I think that's the interesting thing about it too, is like figuring out how do they balance that.
Yeah.
Because again, I think kind of what you were getting at here is, there are a lot of the really good teams. Yes, they have transfers, but they also have players that have been there for 4 years, 3 years, however long. And that is part of the backbone of the team. And why the program is so good is because you have players that have been there for a long time. Yes, okay, yeah, maybe you only have 2 or 3 that aren't in the starting lineup or they play a lot. And then the other ones could be transfers. That's possible, but again, you still have that backbone and like a solid group that starts that culture and can make it easier for the players that are new to the culture, that they can figure it out and that they're there for them. That type of stuff. I think it's a really great point. I usually don't think about that type of stuff, but maybe it is really important.
I think just speaking on continuity, just to wrap this up, I think it does help a little bit when you have some sense of continuity, but in the end, there are still transfers to make. I mean, even in the teams that you ended up mentioning, Michelle, there are transfers in and out of some of those teams. So it all depends on how things are able to mesh, which makes the transfer portal pretty tricky. I think there do need to be some restrictions, but
it's tough. I mean, for sure there needs to be restrictions.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about more like the money stuff and whatever. But even without that, there's like a lot of stuff going on with the fact that they're able to move around so much. But yeah, I think it's a huge factor. Being involved with teams, that's just how it works.
Yeah.
Having continuity with each other makes you more successful. It makes it a lot easier to be successful, I guess is the best way to put it.
Especially if you have something good going, like say Nebraska, they already had something good going. They pretty much keep the same roster, and they continue to have something good going.
Yeah. All right, and our last question for the episode from GT Richardson, 6311. Pitt and Kentucky in the powerhouse class. Wisconsin is in the holding pattern for a Sweet 16 if they don't have Furbringer. But if she does come back at like 85 to 90%, maybe they can be a surging team. And then he also mentioned A&M as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the most topical now that Charlie Furbringer
she's back.
Now, we'll have to see, can she really play at that level of 85, 90%? It's hard to say.
I think she's been playing pretty well.
Yeah, she did. She did get off to a good start. We'll have to see as it goes through. Can she heat back up and get comfortable again? Where, all right, national tournament, she's good. We'll have to see that.
Yeah.
But I definitely agree. I think Sweet 16 already looked pretty solid for them, just with how impressive they've been playing with Addie Horner at the helm for their setting.
Yeah.
But knowing Charlie Furbringer is back, you had to feel really good about this team that they're going to be really tough out. They could be Elite Eight, and they could make it really, really difficult.
I think maybe more importantly, regarding that Sweet 16 level, is if they're able to make that push into the top 8.
Yeah.
That's where you do get a different level of advantage
moving
forward.
Yeah, the matchups will be more favorable for sure.
Yeah. Making it into the 8 gives you a little bit better chance, but it's tough.
Yeah.
I don't know how well that can work out, given that there's only like less than a month of the season left. A lot less than a month, actually. Maybe like
for the regular season.
Yeah. 3 weeks, I guess, of play maybe of the season, and it would take a little bit of good play from Wisconsin and also bad play from
someone
Purdue.
has to drop.
It's hard. I mean, I guess maybe they'd be taking ASU's spot.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of finagling here, but if they do make it happen, which is, I guess, still up in the air, it's hard, but it's possible. I think that's when you really could be looking at, okay, they're definitely going to be able to have a really good spot to make a deeper run.
Tournament-wise, I'm pretty sure Wisconsin will be fine making it into at least Sweet 16.
I hope so. I mean, they're a really fun team to watch. Yeah. Especially with Charlie Furbringer back.
Yeah. And then I think their best bet for moving on past the Sweet 16 would maybe, if they can creep up to that 8 or 9 spot, probably.
Yeah, it would help.
Yeah, just looking at the teams. Maybe you can get away with 10 if you match up versus Louisville. Maybe Texas A&M. You have a good chance there.
Yeah, it could be a good matchups too. I think that's going to be important. I think that, again, is like the really fun thing about the season is it's going to be a lot about matchups and the pull that you get in, when you figure out what the tournament really ends up being for the brackets. I think that's going to be really important. So if things go their way, they can definitely be up there.
Yeah, that'll do it for the questions for this week. If you guys want to leave some any more interesting insights that you want to start, any good conversations you guys want to have, if you guys want to respond to what we already talked about this week, we'd love to hear back. Continue this conversation moving forward, but right now, we'll move on straight to the Rally Round. Welcome to the Rally Round, where we play our drafts, blind rankings, and other fun games. This week, we're going to keep it a little bit short since our main segment went a little bit longer, but we're only going to play 2 games, and we're going to start off with a comparing the stats. So for this comparing the stats, we're going to keep it pretty on brand with the NCAA National Player of the Year race.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to be picking our NCAA Player of the Year, or National Player of the Year, but only using stats.
Okay.
So this one should be pretty interesting. Pick your NCAA National Player of the Year by only using stats. So this one's going to be pretty interesting. We're running it more like a King of the Hill style.
Yeah. Okay.
So let me get your first one out here. Let's do our first 2 players here. The first player has 3.45 points per set with 2.66 kills per set on a 44.9% efficiency with 13 aces, 28 service errors, and 1.14 blocks per set. So obviously this one's a middle.
Yeah.
Then for the next player, they have 4.29 points per set, 3.57 kills per set, 30.5% efficiency. They have 25 aces, 28 service errors, 2.28 digs per set, 15 serve receive errors, and 0.65 blocks per set.
Man, I mean, unfortunately, I do know who the middle is. I mean,
there's only one middle.
Yeah, it's gonna be Andi Jackson, but I mean, her numbers are great. It looks
that efficiency
really
though.
Yeah, the efficiency is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
This outside though is also doing pretty well. They got some pretty good numbers here. You know what? Give me the middle. Give me Andi Jackson.
Okay.
The numbers that when I'm looking at look pretty freaking solid. Let me rock with it.
All right. That means you have eliminated Harper Murray.
Ooh, you put the Nebraska against each other.
We started off with a little Nebraska matchup, and you picked Andi Jackson. Then your next player has 5.82 points per set on 5.18 kills per set on 32.2% efficiency. They have 17 aces, 30 service errors, 2.19 digs per set, 10 serve receive errors, and 0.74 blocks per set.
Oof, I'm sorry. I mean, I already said it earlier, it's Andi Jackson. I think I have to go with this outside here. The numbers are great. I mean, the amount of kills that they're getting is ridiculous. Kind of difficult to compare that with the middle.
Yeah.
But the efficiency is still quite high. You can see that they're still doing it on the defensive end, you know, with the lower serve receive errors, good digs, and then still getting some blocks as well. So I'll have to go with the outside here.
All right, well, then we're going to say goodbye to Andi Jackson.
Oh, all right. It's okay. You had a good run.
On to the next player. They have 5 flat points per set with 4.43 kills per set on 33.4% efficiency. They have 26 aces, 28 serve errors, 2.57 digs per set, 21 serve receive errors, and 0.39 blocks per set.
Wow. This is also...
It's pretty close still.
It's also really good outside, I would assume, but like from the serve receive. But
yeah,
I think I still got to go player A here. I think the numbers look better. Kills per set. Efficiency is very close. It's almost the same.
Yeah.
There is like the ace to service errors. That ratio is a little bit better. But the defense is still pretty similar. Less serve receive errors. I think that's important. And then the blocking is a little bit better too.
All right. That means you're eliminating Torrey Stafford from the conversation right now.
Damn.
So that's a big one to lose.
Yeah.
From Texas. Then our next player here has 6.78 points per set with 5.97 kills per set on 29.2% efficiency. They have 47 aces, 89 service errors, 1.62 digs per set, 29 serve receive errors, and 0.91 blocks per set.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, we are only looking at the numbers here, so that's how I'm going to do it, even if I know who the players are. But man, I think, again, you know, there are some more serve errors here, but again, the aces is so high. The kills and the points per set is really high. The efficiency is still pretty solid. And the defense is not a huge fall off. You still have decent blocking, and then the digs is still there. The serve receive, I think that's what hurts it more, but I think I still have to go player B. The numbers are too insane.
Well, that means you've just eliminated Noemie Colyer.
Oh.
From Wisconsin. Farewell from this race. But now let's move on to the next player. We're on to our next player. We have a setter here. They have 1.23 points per set, 0.74 kills per set, 10.26 assists per set, and the team's hitting at 34.8% efficiency. She has 11 serve aces, 12 serve errors, with 2.6 digs per set and 0.65 blocks per set.
Okay, I know it's Bergen Reilly here. I'm looking at the numbers. This hitter is still amazing. But man, the setting is also looking really, really good. You can see the defense is there. The serve error ratio is really good. And the team hitting percentage is just ridiculous, man. 34.8% is so insane.
Yeah.
I think I got to give it to the setter.
All right.
Or player B.
Well, that means you've eliminated Flormarie Heredia Cologne from this race. From Miami, also performing insane. The numbers are absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Then we have our final player here, our final matchup. This player has 5.97 points per set with 5.11 kills per set, hitting at 32.8% efficiency with 32 aces, 52 service errors, 2.16 digs per set, and 0.97 blocks per set.
This is insane. Again, I do know who the player is, but it's okay. I'm doing this purely based off of the numbers. To me, I'm giving it to the setter. I think just seeing the numbers and I'm only looking at it and I'm just pretending that's all I see. I think it's really, really great. the team hitting percentage to me pops out like it's like a sore thumb. It's ridiculous what she's able to do. And then again, you still have to respect the hitter here. The aces are still really high. Kills percent is really high. The efficiency is really high, and then still really good defense, front row and back row. But I'm giving it to the setter.
All right, that means you've eliminated Olivia Babcock from this race, and you've picked Bergen Reilly as your National Player of the Year based on stats.
I think, yeah, the team hitting percentage is just so ridiculous to me. I think that, to me, that has to be there. Yeah.
No, that is very fair. I mean, that's absurdly high.
Yeah. I think it's really fun, though. It's really cool to see the stats and just trying to compare it based off that. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think stats will be a big part of this race anyways. So
yeah.
Good choice, Bergen Reilly. At least based on the stats right now, you're our National Player of the Year.
At least what I picked, I guess.
Yeah. You guys also let us know what you guys picked based on these stats. It's pretty tough. I mean, we have some absurd numbers. Flormarie, Heredia, Cologne especially sticks out like a sore thumb. Just
yeah, maybe I trolled. I don't know. It was really hard. But
yeah, I also could have matched it up a little bit differently where I saved Flormarie a little bit for a little bit later. But yeah, you guys let us know in the comments what you guys thought of this one. But we'll move on to the next game now.
All right, we're keeping up the blind rankings and we're doing the positions still. This time, we're going to go with right sides. So blind rank these NCAA right sides.
Okay.
First up, we got Kennedy Martin.
All right, Kennedy Martin, been playing amazing. She is doing everything to keep Penn State afloat right now. I'll put her at 2.
Okay.
Yeah, straight up, like, she deserves it.
Yeah. Okay. So then next up, you have Abigail Mullen from USC.
Ooh, okay. This is a good sleeper pick. I feel like not a lot of people are onto her right now, but
yeah, I think USC overall has been kind of slept on right now.
Yeah, she's really good. I don't know exactly how you're gonna go with this right now, so I'll put her at 4.
Okay.
Yeah, let's be a little safe, leave some room up and down.
Okay. Then next up, we got Olivia Babcock.
Okay, that's who I thought I wanted to save that number 1 spot for, so let's put Olivia Babcock at number 1.
I think that's the easiest decision here that you can make. Next up, we have Malia Jones.
Ooh, Malia Jones is good. Very, very good. Now, it's... Who do I think? Oh, man. Oh, no. Maybe I just messed this ranking. Malia Jones should not be below Abigail Mullen right now. Okay, yeah. So that means I'm putting Malia Jones at number 3.
Okay, Malia Jones is at 3. That means at your number 5 spot, we're disrespecting the freshman here. Kari Spears. My pick. No.
All right, put her at 5.
That's the freshman hazing, man.
Isn't Abigail Mullen also a freshman?
Freshman hazing.
I've completely disrespected your freshman of the year pick.
No.
That's so funny.
He doesn't mean it. You put both of the freshmen down there. Damn.
You threw me off when you put in Abigail Mullen in so early. I was like, oh shoot, I really don't know who you're gonna add.
Yeah.
That's how it ended up. But
it's okay. I wanted to be more chaotic this time, so I switched it up on you.
No, that's a good one. There's still a lot of good right sides out there that you could have put in. So this is still not a bad list at all. But I feel like I ranked it pretty well.
I think if you just switch the 2, that's okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's up to people.
Yeah.
Malia Jones, Kari Spears. That could be a conversation too.
Yeah. I don't mind it too much. But that'll bring us to the end of this episode. Thank you again so much if you made it this far. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah. Again, in those comments, let us know who your favorite players are, who you think should be getting National Player of the Year. Throughout this episode, we've actually reached 2 different conclusions, kind of.
Yeah.
Where we ended up just picking our top 2, but we had a Bergen Reilly choice and we had an Olivia Babcock choice. Yeah. So if you guys have a different one, let us know. Or if you guys want to plead a case for one of those 2 being above the other, also let us know. I would love to see a National Player of the Year setter again. So I'm down with the Bergen Reilly train.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah.
Let's get one going. I think it'd be really cool.
Who cares about those hitters? It's all about the setters.
And there's the setter bias coming in.
But yeah, just let us know in the comments what you guys think. Or if you guys have any other fun topics to talk about, let's start talking in the comments. We'll respond next week. And thank you again for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.